Hello? Am I live? Is anybody there? I don't know if I'm live. This thing is too slow. Let me just check if I'm live. Hello? Oh, there's people coming on now. Hi. Hello, Maddie. My internet's a little bit slow today. We're gonna give it some time so some people get on here. How's everybody doing tonight? The weather is so nice here in Florida. We have cool weather. Really nice. It was awesome today. I walked the trails. Did a 3-mile hike. Oh, hi, Louis. What brings you to my live? By the way, Louis is going to be the moderator today. He's going to moderate for any troll activity. So, going to be there. Hi, in Japan, in Tokyo. Wow, that is so awesome to see that you're there. I'm going to shut this computer down because I'm using my phone. I wasn't able to. I was going to get on the computer and use the computer, but I wasn't able to use the computer to get online. Hi, Maddie, you're in Point St. Lucie. Oh, how nice. That's such a nice area there in Florida. It's probably warmer there than here. Here it's really cool. I don't know how cool it is. I talked to my mom in Miami and she said it was very cool there today, so which is nice. So anyway, we are going to do the yes, I'm having a great weekend. Thank you. From Kentucky. That's awesome. That's wonderful. Louis is moderating. We never know what's going to happen today. Hi from Texas. Awesome. That's right, Louis. You're the mechanic. You got to fix things when they're broken. Hi, David. Hi, everybody. Well, anyway, I'm in my bedroom because Christian was watching TV over there, but we couldn't get on, so I had to have him stop watching TV. The song is actually listed from my channel. The song, it's listed. If you go to the description, the name of the song is on there. I'm going to try to lift this up a little bit higher because this is kind of low. I'm kind of looking down. Cincinnati. It must be cold there. I'll tell you what the weather is here right now. It's 61 here in Florida, which is really nice. This is like the best weather that we've had in a long time. I'm so ready for the winter and for the cold to come. Anyway, guys, we're going to get started while people still come in. I am going to do the write the name of the person asking the question. Okay, if anybody has any questions, can you leave it for the end? And I'll answer any questions at the end. I just want to go through this because I want to make sure that I close this whole series down before we move on to the next one. So as you know, I did the series back last year, and this is a copy of the mind map that I was giving away for free. And these are just pretty much just the outline of the series. And we pretty much covered everything in my series. It's on the playlist. What I'm going to work on today is the last one, which is number 6 of the mind map. If anybody wants the mind map, you can have it for free. Just email me, rvsimply@gmail.com, and I'll send it to you for free. But you can take notes. If you're following the series, you can take notes from the playlist. Okay, so what in the first time for full timing, we talked about have a great night, Andrew. Thank you. You can oh, it says Anne. Okay, you can always watch this later on when it's available on the channel. Anyway, so the first one that we talked about getting ready to go full timing, we talked about health. And that was pretty important because we have to be in good health to be able to do a lot of the things that that's going to take us to get out on the road. We talked a lot about downsizing. So the downsizing is this one here. And we talked about all of this in that video, the downsizing portion of it. And then it goes all the way to the bottom because there's a lot of things that I had to talk about in that one. And then we talked about the RV and when you're buying an RV and some other things. So that's the yellow one that's there. We already did that in the series. And then we did the planning aspect of going full-time. We talked about all these points in number 4. And then in number 5, we talked about provisioning. It wasn't a big one, but we talked about that. So now we're going to talk here. My nail broke today, and I still haven't fixed it, but we're going to talk about number 6. So the first thing we're going to talk about is number 6, as I call it, is making arrangements when you're going to go full-timing. Hi, Kansas. We're going to be talking about making arrangements when we go full-time. And I'm going to look at my notes because I have, even though I have those key points there, I do have some notes that I've taken here. The first thing that you're going to want to make sure before, this is the last of the series, so the last thing before you head on the road is make sure that you have your mail account and your mail is being forwarded to wherever you're going to be. So now you're going to know exactly where you're going is going to be your next destination. And if you don't know that, this is the time that you need to do your plan. You should have been doing your planning ahead of time, but this is your final planning. So you should have some idea of where you're going to be leaving when you leave your home. And I'm going to jump to the bottom of this because you don't necessarily have to leave yet. If you feel comfortable staying in the area where you're at, you can be there for a while in an RV park in the area that you live in, because it will make you a little bit more comfortable being in that area. You already know the area, so now you just have to really learn about living in your RV. You don't have to take on the other responsibility of travel yet. So that's something that you could do in this stage of the game, is decide, look, I don't want to be gone from my area and I have family and friends here. I'm going to stay in this area. I'm going to stay in an RV park in this area for a while until I feel more comfortable getting out on the road. So that's one of the things. Let's talk about residency, because residency, we spoke about that in one of the other ones. But one of the things that I didn't talk about is if you have a disability and you're getting benefits from the government, if you're getting EBT or any kind of thing like that, you also want to be able to make sure that when you choose a state for residency, this is really important for some of you, you make sure that you use a state that allows you to get benefits that you can use out of the states. Some states don't allow you, if you're getting food stamps or some other benefits, they do not allow you to use those benefits in other states. And so when you're checking the state that you're going to be a resident of, you want to make sure that you pick one if you have a disability and you need to get benefits, because you want to be able to use your benefits in other states as well. So that's an important thing that a lot of people don't mention, and if you're there, you need to figure that out. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is your GPS. By now, you should have an idea of your travel plans, what your goals are in mind. You want to give yourself, you also want to be able to know the weather and your travel plans as far as weather is concerned. That's really important, because you may have to head south, or you may have to head further south if you're up in the north. So you have to have kind of like a timeline of how long it's going to get you to where you're going to be. And you want to give yourself time to explore also. A lot of people, when they go out on the road, they think of it as like a vacation, and they start traveling like it's a vacation, and they start eating out, and they go from one tourist place to the next, and they're spending a lot of money out there, and you don't want to do that. Remember, if you're full-timing, you're living on the road, so you have plenty of time to get to the next place, but that also depends on your weather window. So you have to also plan these things in advance and give yourself room and time to explore the areas that you're at. So that's another thing that's important. You don't want it to be too expensive, because it can get very expensive on the road if you're moving and moving and moving constantly. Okay, the next one is to know the systems of your RV well, and you should also have a backup plan for any emergencies if you're on the road. So if something were to happen to you or your spouse, you need to have a backup plan. Where are you going to stay? Do you have somebody who you can stay with, or bring your RV and stay there? If one of you had to have medical attention, what these are the things that you have to talk about before you hit the road. These are important things. You don't want to be on the road and not have discussed this stuff first, because you have to have a backup plan. Like we didn't have a backup plan when we had the hurricane, and then we had to, I mean, I was lucky I have a home and I can come back home and take care of all my problems here. But if something like that were to happen to you, where, I mean not the hurricane, I was talking about the hailstorm. If you had a hailstorm that wrecked your RV, what are you going to do? How are you going to take care of your problems? So make sure that you look into those things. Okay, as far as insurance, and I did a video on insurance, and you can check that out in my videos. You want to up your coverage on your car, and you want to review the insurance that you have on your RV, because it's very different to have insurance when you're living at home and you're parked in a garage than if you are actually out all the time. Your truck, or whatever is always outside. And the same thing is with the RV. So you want to review that stuff. You're doing a good job, Louis. I see you're doing a good job. All right, then the next thing that you're going to want to check is your subscription memberships. If you are going to be subscribing to something like Thousand Trails, Passport America, Happy Campers, you want to, by now, this is the time that you want to have your subscriptions in order. Pay for your subscriptions. Get your cards in before you leave. You don't want to be running out like I did when I went on the road. I had I think it was Passport America. And when I left, my card had not come in. So you want to be able to do that in advance and have time to have your card come in. Now, most of the cards come in, I think in the email you can get it. But when I did mine, my card came in and I was already gone. Okay, so I was lucky. They gave me the number, and the park that I stayed in allowed me with the number. So that's something that you want to, and don't go to everybody. Don't start getting like all these different memberships and stuff like that. You want to be able to see the areas that you're going to be in during the time that you're going to be there, because some of these places you don't want to pay for your membership. Like, you get paid for Passport America, but you're going to be in Colorado during the summer. Well, guess what? Colorado is not going to take your Passport America because that's their peak season during that time. You might get lucky and find a park that'll take you for one day or so like that. But, you know, you have to know what time of the year and if they're going to honor you in that time of the year that you're traveling. If not, then I'll just tell you, just wait till the another time of the year to do it. So check your parks, check your memberships and see what parks, if there's going to be parks in the area where you're traveling to, or you're going to be staying there for a while. The next thing is that this is all going to be really stressful for you, so it's important for you to rest and make sure that you're exercising. We talked about in the very beginning, exercise is important if you want to be able to travel and see things, and you're going to be able to hike and do all these great things. You also have to start building your resistance and, you know, getting yourself up there as far as health-wise is concerned. Okay, then the next thing is, we already talked about this in the beginning, is your exit strategy is that you don't feel pressure that you have to leave. I mean, a lot of you, if you're selling your home and you have to be out on a certain day because of closing, don't feel pressure that you have to get in your RV because you closed down your house yesterday. You have to leave the next day. You have to be out of town. You don't need to do that. You can stay there where you live in that area. You can stay at the Walmart for a day or two. You can move on to the next town in Walmart and go really slow until you feel comfortable with what you're doing. If you don't feel comfortable, then give it time, because you'll eventually get there. It's very different living in a house and living on the road. And you don't want to get tired, and you don't want to get stressed out, because it's not going to be happy. It's not going to be a happy time for you. And you don't want to go back and think, oh, I made a mistake. What did I do? You know, you don't want to second guess yourself. So take your time doing all these things, and I'm sure that you're all going to enjoy that you are doing this. And there's many people out there that wish that they were doing it, but you are doing it. So that's a great thing. You've come a long way. Pat yourself on the back, and congratulations for being on the road. So now that we're done, let's take any questions. If anybody has any questions out there. Louis, are you even there, Louis? I don't see you anymore. I think my internet's slow because I don't see anything going on here on the screen. I don't see any questions, Louis. Where do I hit this button here for questions? I don't see any questions. Yep, gotta have a plan B. Always have a plan B. Especially if your spouse or something has any medical conditions and you're going on the road, you need to know what to do in that event. Especially if you're a husband and a wife and your wife doesn't drive the RV, you should have a plan and you should talk about what you're going to do in that instance. There's travel insurance for that. You can, yeah, I think Good Sam's has travel insurance for that. Travel Assist, I think it's called. You look into something like that. How many hours do I drive in a day? Well, right now I'm staying at my house because Christian is trying to get into the Coast Guard, and he has to take some classes. He's got to take 2 tests to get into the Coast Guard, and he doesn't drive, so I have to be here to drive him. I drive him to school, I come back, and then I drive him, pick him up, and that's just the way our life is right now. So for the next until he's 18, this is what I'm doing right now. And this is going to happen when you're on your road. You might have children, you might have to stop for a while. You know, when I was on the road, I could have stayed on the road, but Christian needed speech therapy, and I needed to find a house. I needed to have a place where we can go back to a doctor so he can get speech therapy. He needed to go 3 times a week for speech therapy, and that's what we were doing in the beginning. When we moved here, we found a doctor that could help him, a therapist, and he was getting speech therapy 3 times a week. So sometimes when you have children, you'll discover that maybe there's issues as you're homeschooling them, and you need to get professional help. And a lot of times you're going to have to be parked somewhere in order to get these children professional help. That's just the way it is. And you never know. You know, you can have 3 kids and one of them needs the help. So now everybody has to stay in one place for a while. I saw that it quickly. I mean, let me know if I can go back here. Okay, here it is. I'm struggling to buy a 5th wheel or 28-foot travel trailer Lance. My husband wants a 5th wheel. The 5th wheel, I'm not particular about the 5th wheel because I really think that they're bigger than what you need, and it's going to keep you from a lot of things. The height. But if you're moving from a house, you might feel that you can't downsize all the way down and you need that bigger space. And that's fine, because later on when you realize, you know, we can do with less, you can do that. I met this couple on the road when we were going out west, and I was at a gas station. He had a truck camper. That was the first time that I saw a really nice truck camper. He told me that when we were talking about the truck camper, that's when I was interested in a truck camper, but I didn't have one yet. We were in the travel trailer. And he said to me that he had, when he sold this house, he moved into a 5th wheel. But then he was parked at park, so they would travel, and him and his wife. What happened was they would travel. When they were traveling, they realized that there were a lot of places out of the way that they wanted to get to, and they couldn't get in there with the 5th wheel. That's why he bought the truck camper. So basically what they do, they're full-timers, and their 5th wheel is their home. They park it in an RV park. When they want to go away to off the beaten paths, they take their truck camper with them. They have 2 trucks, by the way. They do have 2 trucks. His wife has one. So it's a lot of gas, but they're driving both vehicles to their next location. They go from one place to the next, but they use their truck camper when they want to go exploring. But their home is their 5th wheel. So that's another option for you. If you both need a vehicle, you can get something like that where you can have like a truck camper and still have a 5th wheel. Because a 5th wheel is like a home. You can put a lot of things in a 5th wheel. I would personally, if I'm thinking about the 5th wheel, the Lance, I've seen the Lance trailer that you're talking. Well, I haven't seen I think you mentioned the 2019. I saw the one for 2018. And I loved the Lance 2018. I just loved it. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was well made. It's a well, I don't know what the fifth wheel is brand that you're thinking about, but look at the quality of the fifth wheel also. I know Lance makes a really good product, so I don't know what the quality of a fifth wheel is. Yeah, and the trailer seems to be easier also for unhitching and taking it out. The name of the song, what's it called? Here, let me look here. It's on the video description. I'm going to find it for you here. Here. That nail is driving me crazy. My nail broke today. Okay, hold on. Self-Made Woman. It's by Martin Carlberg is the name of the song. It's from Epidemic Sound. Self-Made Woman. That's the name of the song. I always listen to Lewis. Right, Lewis? I always listen to you? Well. So anyway, guys, so I'm going to be working on the land series that's going to be coming up. Yes, I do, Lewis. I do listen to it. Yeah, it's a good idea to pull a tow behind him. I just wrote an article about that on my blog. That was my first post. I think it was my first or my second. I think it was the second post that I did. And the realization when I went on the road of how desperately I needed a car, because that on every time, well, in the winter it's not too bad. In the summertime, if you're in Florida, every time that you're going to go to a grocery store, you got to buy milk, or you ran out of this, you ran out of that, you got to unhitch your stuff. You got to put everything where it belongs, and then you got to roll yourself over to the store, and it's a big pain. It's a big pain. So, and if it's hot out, and you got pets in the vehicle too, that's a big problem, because unless you have a generator. And I wrote about that. If you check out my blog page on my website, I wrote about that. That's why I switched over to the travel trailer, because I couldn't tow my vehicle. I just couldn't. Yeah, the heat is really bad, but luckily we don't have that problem right now. My battery is good. My battery in the Airstream I do have to change. Actually, I am maintaining the last battery that I bought for the travel trailer, which was at West Marine last year. The Marine battery, that one, I'm maintaining it for the Airstream, because the Airstream battery is no good. So, is it better to travel without pets? That depends on your life. For me, it would be difficult, because I've always had pets. I've always had a dog. I've always had dogs with me. I think it would be lonely by myself without pets. That depends. If you want to be stealth, very stealth like Lewis, you're not going to be, if you're going to sleep in hotels or streets and things like that, in front of people's homes or whatever, you really can't have a pet, because you can't go out at night to take your pet out for a walk or anything like that, because it's going to give you away. If you're staying in a hotel and you have to walk your dog at 11 o'clock at night, that's going to give you away. So you can't do that. You might want to get a cat, though. With a cat is easy, because you don't have to walk them outside. So, but I like the idea of traveling with pets and and go out for walks and stuff like that with my dog, if I could take my dog out for a walk. I missed that about Muffin, because Muffin, when she was younger, she used to go out with me and I used to walk with her. But now that she has her hip problem, she doesn't walk much. So I do miss that when I go on the trails, is having my dog with me. It keeps you company, and sometimes some dogs keep you safe. So, but the company is nice to have company. But it's difficult in the summertime if you're going to be in states that are hot and you're going to do a lot of boondocking. I will tell you that it's easier to have a cat than a dog. My cat can take the heat really well. But my dogs, they just start panting. They don't do well in the heat at all. But cats do. They do much better in the heat than dogs do. Yeah, you can live pretty cheap. I'm going to do a video on how cheap I live here. I live pretty much on about $563 a month. My expenses are under that. My basic expenses. And I'm going to talk about that when we get into my land video. That's just a little giveaway right now. I'll give you the exact amount when I do that. It is a lot cheaper, but you have to go out there and you have to see things, because there's just so many things that you can't believe are out there in this world that are just so beautiful. You don't see them on TV all the time. And it's just wonderful to meet people in different places. What are you saying, Louis? I don't understand. And you're talking in what is this, Louis? I don't know what you're saying, Louis. Figure it out. Anyway, so but yeah, it's cheap. It's if you're moving every single day when you're traveling, you're going to spend a lot of money. And if you're going to go to see things, you always want to get like the parks, the national pass and things like that. You're going to want to have that, because every time you go to one of these places, it's going to cost you a lot of money. What's wrong with Louis? Everybody's saying something's wrong with Louis. I don't know what's going on. Well, Louis, if you have noticed, I don't see well. Show more of my cats. I only have one cat. And Missy's my cat. She's over there right now. She's not here. She's over there. Yeah. You can probably, I don't know if you can probably, you have a lot of negotiation with the dealer. You can probably negotiate to get them to put the camera for you. Try to work something out where you can negotiate it. I mean, they're the ones that want to sell it to you. A camera is not going to make a difference. So you just got to negotiate with them and say, look, I'm going to take this. Or especially if you're paying cash or something like that, you should have a better negotiation with your dealer if you're paying cash. And they should be able to put the camera in for you. Or even if you meet them halfway and say, well, can you, give me half? I'll pay for half the camera. I'll pay for the other half or whatever. You got to be able to negotiate with these guys. They're going to try to get it for the most money, but you got to try to work it out, because they don't want that stuff sitting there. That stuff's going to be old. They don't want to be maintaining that. And make sure when you buy, you make sure that everything has been maintained. When I bought my travel trailer, it leaked off the slide out. Because the problem is a lot of these things, yeah, they're for next year, but they're sitting on their lots for 6 months. Nobody's doing maintenance on this stuff. So make sure that you go up on the roof and then you check and make sure that everything is caulked well. And even when you buy brand new, you should be caulking it. They're not going to caulk it as well on the factory as you are going to caulk it when it comes in. So make sure that you caulk all that stuff. When I bought my Winnebago, the girl maintained it well, but I still caulked everything up on the roof. And the class and the travel trailer also. Because it had a problem where it was leaking. So I knew that the caulking wasn't very good. Anyway, I think we're going to get going, because Louis, don't you have to go, Louis? You have to pick up a lease? Let me know if we have to hang up, Louis, because you have to go. What's Louis getting into? Oh, 9:30 you have to leave? Okay. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. I think that's good, because I think we've been here 30 minutes. It's not that hot down here at all. It's actually, today was 77 was the high, 53 was the low. When I woke up, it was a little bit colder. It was about 48 this morning. It was really nice this morning. I had my doors open. It was so nice. I just love this weather. It's my favorite time of the year, and I went walking in the trails. It was awesome. Yeah, it is chilly. It's chilly down here, but it's nice. It's welcoming. We've had a really hot summer this year. I don't have any videos. I just have that one that I posted in that recent video that I did. I wasn't doing video back then. I didn't have a lot of video. There wasn't good cameras back then, digital cameras. I didn't have a good digital camera, so that's why I didn't. And I didn't have a smartphone back then, so I didn't film a lot. Yeah. The dealers probably don't listen well, but I mean, if they think you're gonna walk away, sometimes you have to pretend that you're walking away. You shouldn't go in there. You should go in there and then like, oh, I like this and that. Oh, can you do this? No, well, I'm gonna go look at something else, this and that. You know, you gotta bluff too and walk away. Sometimes you just have to walk away, maybe come back or call him the day later and say, hey, can you work something out for me? Or I'm really interested, but you know, I got this. I'm a little bit short. Whatever. Got a wheel and deal. Did we get a lot of damage from this storm here? No, we didn't get anything here. I stayed here at the house. I always say if there's a hurricane coming this way, I'm not staying here at my house. I'm leaving. This is why I have the truck camper. I'd have to leave the Airstream here and take a chance with that. But the truck camper is what I would leave in because it's solar ready. So if I came back, I could live in the truck camper while they were repairing. There's Muffin back there repairing the house. So, but since it wasn't coming my way, I didn't feel like I needed to leave. Yeah. Well, and you can't see my feet, Mark Lowe, because I have socks on. I have socks. Everybody want to see my socks? I got my striped socks on today. I'll show you my socks, though. There's my socks. My striped socks, my crazy striped socks. Okay. I don't tell Louis how to do his live videos. A lot of times he does live and I don't even know, and he tells me, "Oh, I did a live." I said, "I don't even know. I don't even get notifications sometimes about Louis's videos." Something bad is happening with notifications. A lot of people I subscribe to, I don't get notifications, even though I want to get their notifications, and I don't. And a lot of times their newer video doesn't come up in my suggested as well. But that's for a whole different day. That's Muffin gagging back there. What you doing back there, Muffins? All right, I think we're going to cut this because we're 30 minutes into it. I think that's good enough. I already showed you my feet. I showed you my socks, my striped socks. 43 for a high. Where are you, antique hippies? Is that Florida? Oh, this is Gail. Hi, Gail. Where are you guys at? It's 43. Are you in Florida? Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm very independent. I like to do my own thing. I'm not happy if I have to follow along with everybody else. So I've learned to do what I want. And that's the freedom of doing of being able to be debt free, is that being able to do what I want. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that about notifications. They're not getting notifications either. And yeah, I think this is high production. Louis is here. It's probably high production. Hi, Dawn. Dawn. not Dawn. Dawn. Oh, aren't you getting your house ready in New Hampshire? Weren't you selling? You're gonna sell your house this year? How's that going for you guys? Colorado 69. Wow, it's almost like it's here. That's great. That's good weather. Colorado is so beautiful. I can't wait to go back there again. I really want to go back to the Rockies and that whole area there. I'm gonna be excited because I'm gonna start posting those videos. Because there's a lot of stuff that happened after we got stuck in the mud. There was a lot of beautiful places that we saw. A lot of beautiful things out west in Colorado and Utah. So anyway, I am actually looking into one place for the meetup in February. I know Louis said the other day we were going to do a meetup in January, but it looks like it's not going to be in January. It's going to be in February like it was last year. Because we want people to be able to go to the RTR. A lot of people come to Florida after the RTR. So our meetup will probably be sometime second week to third week of February is what we're thinking. So this week I'm actually going to be traveling to one of the spots that I'm thinking about. So we'll see if that works out or not. Oh yeah, no problem with the flameless candles. They're my favorite, especially if you have cats. They're great. They're really great. No buyers yet? Oh, that sucks. There's a lot of properties out on the market right now. Oh, thank you for thumbs up. That would be awesome. Thank you. Love it. Thank you very much. So yeah, so as far as the housing market right now, there's so many houses that are being sold right now. So I mean, it's not easy. But you make sure you get a good agent though that's working for you. That's really important. There's some agents out there they just don't work well, you know. And you can negotiate everything. I mean, if negotiation is your biggest thing there. If you get a deal or something, you know, don't drop it for anything. You might be able to work on commissions and get it sold if you can get them to lower their commissions a little bit. So look into things like that. Hello. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up because I know Louis has to get going. He's got to get ready to go pick up his daughter, and he's the moderator on this channel. And Christian has school tomorrow, so I got to drive him to school tomorrow. So anyway, guys, thank you for coming on and talking with me today. This is the first time I think I've done a live in a long time by myself. So hopefully I'll be able to do a live monthly. It'll be great for me to do a live monthly and kind of announce it in advance. Oh, okay, you're by her job? Okay, all right. No, well, I'm going to cut it off because I have to get ready tomorrow. Christian has school, so thanks for watching, everybody. And the next month, I'll probably do another live. You're in the driveway in your RV. That makes sense. That's what I did. Actually, that's what I did with when I first went on the road. I had all my stuff in boxes. I didn't want to be in the house because it was so messy and crazy in the house. Boxes everywhere, everything closed up. All my personal possessions were in the RV, and that's what I did. I lived on this. My RV was parked right here on my yard on the side. I had a side yard, and I lived in that RV until I sold the house. That was the best thing. All right, good night, everybody. We'll talk next time. Thank you for coming on today. With your tools, what do I do with all my tools? Well, you just keep the ones that you think are the most necessary. Everything else, you sell it. There's a lot of apps where you can sell things. You can do garage sales. And actually, since you're saying that December, we're going to do a goal setting year series. And then in January, I'm preparing a series on downsizing. So every month, I'm going to take you through getting rid of certain stuff in the house. So that'll be coming up. A lot of things coming up on my channel in the next few weeks. Okay, guys, have a great night. Thank you for watching. It's been a lot of fun talking to everybody, but I got to get going. Thank you, Louis, for moderating tonight. Big thumbs up for Louis, too, because he was a good moderator helping out tonight. I'm not downsizing, Louis. Well, once in a while, maybe. A couple of things here and there. Okay, bye. Have a good night. Bye. Louis, how do I get off of this thing? I don't even know how. Do I just close it here like this?